So coming to the load balancer, as we tested yesterday application load balancer without any SSL. So we have created load balancer yesterday and we used only HTTP listener. Same way we will use and we will test with HTTPS listener also. So why we need HTTPS, that I will explain you today. My load balancer, and this will be internet only. Yes, first I will go with the listener HTTP and I will compare with the later I'll come and I'll create with the HTTPS listener. Why do we need HTTPS? That also I will explain here. Always you remember you need to choose public subnet. You can see here we don't have any option for this entire subnet. AWS is assigning a one public IP address for the nodes are assigned by AWS for the internal load balancer, and we don't have any option here. The same if we are going with the network load balancer, we are having an option to give our elastic IP, okay, or else managed by AWS. Configure security group. Next, configure routing. So I don't have any target groups, so I'll go with the target group, my TZ and instance and backend. This is backend. This HTTP protocol and HTTP port. So this depends upon our application. Assume you are having multiple applications running on your EC2 instances. One is on port 80, another one is port 8080. Then what you need to do? So that port you are listening on 8080, right? Then you need to configure on 8080. Like this, you need to configure in the target group level. Load balancer is remains same. Either it will be listening on 80 or 443. That needs to be in two protocols. But in backend, you can modify as per your application requirements. Okay. Register the targets. At the moment, we don't have any targets. Next, review and create. Yes, close this. And meanwhile, I will create two instances and I'll modify the instance settings. Application settings. So configure instance details, choose your default non-default VPC, go to the subnet and add storage. Just create a root volume, add security group, choose the existing one and click on the security group ID, review and launch. While launching, you need to acknowledge that you have that key pair in your local or you have that access for your key pair. Just launch this, and in same way we will launch one more EC2 and then we will discuss what is the server 1A. Just copy. Oh, come on. Okay, next same way launch one more instance. Choose your non-default VPC and choose another availability zone, that is public subnet 2, and add storage tags security group. Select an existing one. So if you are not selecting existing one, what will happen, right? So it will create a default security group with the only connection is open to port 22, that is to SSH. But if you are installing any application, if you are trying to access, it won't work. Okay, but we are having an option. If you want to allow multiple ports while creating, also just add rule, like whatever the protocol you want, you just go for that one. Assume you want to open HTTP, just click on HTTP from where you want to open. Okay, but already we have on our default security group, we'll go with that. Review and launch, just launch it. Okay, now we have launched 2 instances. Okay, this one is server 2. So let us log into the first machine first. Use putty or any other SSH which you like. Just load it, open. Yes, I want to connect it. Okay, just control L, and we need to edit nginx.ml, right? So EI user share nginx user share. Okay, so we didn't install the nginx, right? That is the reason it is not going. So first we need to install nginx on this server. Okay, sudo m install nginx. Okay, so this is not installed, so we'll use this command because it is telling nginx is not available in Amazon Linux. Okay, so nginx 1 is there, so to install that one you need to use this command. So just execute that and give confirmation as y. Yes, this is okay. Yes, now it is done. So now I need to start the nginx. Okay, yes, it is started. Now what I'll do, I will go to the user share nginx html index.html. So why I am going that directory, if you take this public IP and if you navigate to this Google browser, if you paste this one, you are getting this nginx page, right? This web page you are seeing from that index.html page. So that is the reason I am navigating to here. Okay, now what we will do, we will modify this image tag here, like yesterday we have done, and I think already we have this image tags also. Yes, just paste here and press escape and WQ for save, and just go there to browser, just refresh this, our new changes will be appearing. The same way I will log into second server also. Server IP is this one. I'll use putty same. I will do this one also. Just I'll load this and I'll go to the Windows and connections. Okay, now I will come to session, save. Now what I'll do, I'll just paste this one. So whenever I'm coming and I'm maximizing, by default, you know, font also will increase. Yes, that is what I need. Okay, sudo su. Now sudo m install nginx. Okay, Amazon Linux extras is Amazon Linux repository. There is no nginx one is there. That is the reason we are taking that and we are deploying. Okay, now systemctl start nginx. So application we are starting. So now it is started. So we will edit that one with the help of EI editor, user share nginx html, index.html. So let us get another image tag, and just navigate down. Let's press insert, right click and save it. Once we save, we'll just go here and get the public IP of the server, and we will test here. Okay, so now both are working. Now what we need to do, we need to attach it to the target group. Both the targets we need to attach to the target group, and I don't have any targets in the target group at the moment. Just to register the targets, so click on the both the targets, include as pending below, navigate down and register pending targets. So this will take some time, 1 to 2 minutes. Then our website will be served via load balancer. And for load balancer, you can attach multiple target groups. Okay, now I want to access my application via load balancer. So I'm accessing now. If you see here, I'm getting my application. It is serving from the load balancer. So if you see here, this is my DNS name. If I gave this DNS name to my client, they won't accept this name. I can't remember. I think you guys can remember. I don't know, but I can't remember for this entire big name for my domain. I want to a simple domain. Okay, I want to use a simple domain with the help of Route 53. With the help of Route 53, first what we will do, actually, as we discussed yesterday, up to this point we have done. Up to this point already we have done. Now this load balancer DNS is there. With this, I can't remember this load balancer DNS name. I want a simple name which easily I remember. That is domain name for my website. Okay, to create that one, what we need to do, so we have two options. So there is a one cloud DNS is there, clouddns.net. From here you will get one domain free. So where I have created my name servers. Okay, this is also something some kind of big one, big domain only. If you want to create your custom domains with the help of Route 53, you can create, or else some open source is there, like Cloud DNS or any other DNS providers. You can go with them and you can purchase one domain for your application or your domain, your website. Same way I have purchased one jdomain.clouddns.asia. This is my website. I have created from someone like third party. So to redirect the traffic to this domain, what we need to do, first we need to create a hosted zone in AWS Route 53. Okay, that is one domain. So I have another domain in Alibaba Cloud. Okay, Alibaba Cloud. So this is the domain name. Okay, so but Alibaba Cloud, I think we have only two name servers. I don't have any option to add another two name servers. Okay, total we have two only. But if you see in the AWS Route 53, I have created this hosted zone. Hosted zone is nothing but I don't have any domain is a domain in AWS, but I have my servers running in AWS, and load balancer is also belongs to AWS. Those guys don't know what is this load balancer or what is that servers. So that is the reason. First we need to create a hosted zone, that is something kind of landing and entry point to our AWS. So from here, with the help of this domain hosted zone, this is my hosted zone. For whenever you created a hosted zone, you will get the name servers. So I got the two name servers. One is .com and .organization. Okay, and I have updated these two domains, 1258 and 170 in the Alibaba Cloud DNS. I have purchased here DNS. So what I'll do, I'll update this name server also here, and I'll confirm this one. Okay. Okay, the operation is successful. Now I have added two. So let us test with this domain. If it is not working, then we will go with the cloud one. Why? Because here we have four name servers. By default, we don't want to worry. It will automatically resolve after we adding the name servers. But everything is fine now. So let us go here. We have added the name servers. Now what we need to add here? We need to add load balancer in the hosted zones. So create a record. Create a record here. Create a record. And if you see here, alias is there. If you enable the alias, it is having, you want to create any, like assume I have this main domain jnl.xyz. If you want to create any multiple domains like dev.anil.xyz, that is called subdomain, test or any other thing, then you can go here and you can do that, or else you just keep it blank, then it will serve to jnl.xyz only. So what is the record you want to add here? What is the record you want to add here? If you see here, alias to application and classic load balancer. If you enable this alias, you will get that option, or else you need to get that IP or load balancer IP, and you need to update the record, CNAME record like this. Okay, but you don't want to worry about that one. Just click on alias, because it is the AWS one only, AWS resource which we are attaching now here. A record only. Now if you see here, alias to application or classic load balancer. Okay, we have already created classic load balancer, and which region our load balancer is there, in Ireland region. Okay, choose load balancer. See, you'll stack that my load balancer, and what is the policies available, this we will discuss at later point whenever we are discussing about Route 53. So it is creating a record now. So now it is creating a record. So now we will give some time to this, and we will verify with the jnl.xyz. So still it is not coming, so we'll wait for some time and we will get this. Okay, that is how it will work. Meanwhile, what we will do, I will create one more hosted zone with the help of this domain. Okay, this domain, let us see what will happen. Okay, this is my domain, right? I'll take this domain from this clouddns.net. Okay, let's navigate to Route 53. Just go to the hosted zones, click on the hosted zones, and remember, hosted zones is not a free. For hosted zone you need to pay per monthly basis, right? Create record. Meanwhile, we'll just refresh this. Are we getting any data or not? Okay, at the moment there is no data. Okay, domain name we need to give here. What is my domain name? This is the domain name I have already owned. Okay, public hosted zone, I'm going with this, and just create your hosted zone. Now my hosted zone is created. Okay, now what I need to do, I need to update my name servers. So why I'm creating hosted zone, I already explained. RL, and one more thing here, you can go and you can create your own domain with the AWS Route 53 also. Okay, get started. So what do you need to start? You want to register a domain? Yes, you can go and do that one. Okay, that what we will see upcoming sessions. Hosted zones. So in the hosted zone, I have created two hosted zones, and now I want to modify these name servers in the destination. Okay, so I'll copy one by one. So this is the first name server. I'll go here and I'll just click on edit, and that is the name point to. Okay, update. So first one is I have updated. If you see here, these name servers are belongs to Cloud DNS, but I want to host my website under that Cloud DNS with the help of these name servers. Okay, this is how you need to modify your name servers whenever you are purchasing any domain from another vendor. If you point to your hosted zone. Okay, now the third one is copy. Why? Because that one is not working. That is the reason we have created another hosted zone. Hosted zone is not a free one. Don't create and play, but whenever you are required really, then create a hosted zone, or else you can directly create one domain itself with AWS. That will be a good one. Update. So I have updated my name servers now. So assume now someone is there in the internet. Someone is there in the internet. If they want to fetch with the name jdmi.clouddns.asia, then what will happen? Okay, so if someone is trying to hit this website, what will happen? First it will go to the internet and it will go to the DNS. Who is the DNS here? It will go to the Cloud DNS and it will tell to the, okay, these name servers are AWS name servers. Just go there and you get the data from that one. So it will point to these name servers. This by defaultly it will point to our AWS Route 53 DNS hosted zones. Now we will create one more record for here. Create a record here. Same alias record we will add here. Choose endpoint, load balancer endpoint, or choose region, EU Ireland, and which load balancer you want to add. So create a load balance, create a record set. So now we have created a record also. A record we have created now. Why it is coming dual stack my LLB. Seven five four two three six zero 4253603. Okay, perfect. Okay. Let us wait for some time. We'll verify this whether it is coming or not. No, it is not coming. Okay, no problem. Now let us take this domain. This is the domain. It needs some time. Okay, this needs some time. So meanwhile what we will do, I will explain you one concept here. Okay, so till now what we done, we have used only HTTP listener. So if you see here, add one more listener. What is the listener we have? HTTP already we have added. So, and you are using the port number 80, you may not have a duplicate balancer of the same port. So what we need to do, we need to use HTTPS with 443 port, that is a fixed one. So now what we need to do, default action, if you want to forward to any target group, then give the target group. So same target group you can choose, and security policy, take any one of the security policy. And you see here, without ACM you can't create, without ACM or SSL, without SSL. ACM is a AWS certificate manager, it is the recommended one. Or if you want to import your own certificate, for this particular domain, if you are already having SSL certificate, you can import it, or else you can use AWS ACM. That is a recommended approach also. So what is AWS ACM? How it will work? Okay. So I don't have any ACM certificate. See, if you see here. So what I need to do, I'll just request a certificate from the ACM, and ACM certificates are completely free of cost. You can use that one. So what I will do, star dot star dot. So I'm giving star.jdmi.clouddns.asia. So what will happen when I create dev.jdmi.clouddns.asia also, it will work. Okay. Any subdomains I will create, it will create. It will work for this. Okay. Just create. You need to give your domain name whenever you are creating your SSL certificate. You need to provide your domain name. So if you see here, type the fully qualified domain name of the site that you want to secure your SSL or TLS certificate. SSL is the older name we are calling a secure socket layer, and the newer one is TLS. Now advanced one is TLS, transport layer security. For example, if you have the domain name like this, okay, use an asterisk. Asterisk is I have used right here star to request a wildcard certificate. Wildcard is nothing but any name before dot. Any name you can go and you can fetch with the same single certificate. Protect several sites in the same domain. For example, they given like this. It will protect with this site, or else it will go with the site.example or images.example.com. This is how it will work. So you need to give your domain name, and this is the most important one. Why this is the most important one? So what they are telling, okay, you are requesting one ACM certificate. I don't have any problem to give you, but what is the reason? You are the owner of this website. So how can I validate? How can I give a certificate to you? How can I believe? So that is the reason we have two options here. They will give two options. One is DNS validation, or another one is email validation. So you need to have this domain fully controlled as an administrator to update the records. Then only you will able to get the certificate. You will get the certificate if you choose any option, but until unless you validate, it won't work. Okay. Choose how AWS Certificate Manager validates, either DNS validation or email validation. DNS validation is nothing but where our DNS hosted zone is there, or else email validation. It will send us the email. It will send the email, and choose this option if you don't have permission or cannot obtain permission to modify the DNS configuration. Okay. Let us use DNS validation only. Why? Because we are the owner for that domain. Okay. Just review this. Okay. Just confirm and request. So now I have confirmed and requested, but if you see here, the validation is still in pending, So what we need to do, we need to add this, we need to export DNS configuration to a file, or else you just you got this right. Okay, what is the name of this one and what is the value of this one? What is the type? CNAME. So what we need to do now, just you need to copy, we need to copy this one, and we need to go to the route 53 and create a record. What is the record we need to create? We need to create a CNAME record. Now here what we need to give, we need to value, we need to give here. What is the value here? We need to pass name and value. You can see here this full value you need to copy. Okay, I copied now, and I'll give here. Okay, here I need to give the name. What is the name I need to give? I need to give this name. I'm copying this, I'm going there and just click on this one, and I need to remove this end one because already it is there. So dot also I'll remove. Okay, CNAME record I'm adding. Okay, just create a record. It is creating a record. Now I have created a record also. Why I have created? This is something we need to validate the domain that we need to get the SSL certificate from the AWS or any other domain provider. If you are getting any SSL certificates, you need to validate that one either in the both ways, either DNS or email validation. Okay, still it is in pending validation only. We need to wait for some time until unless it will get to the Just cancel this. Okay, it will take some time, and it will comes into the available state or used state. Okay, until that time, what we will do, we'll wait for that. We'll discuss another topic. Okay, let us see what is happening for this one. Okay, okay, or else what we will do. Okay, let's leave for this, and I'll navigate to the EC2 console, EC2 instance. Just let us take any one of the server IP address and navigate to the route 53, and even you can directly add any IPs. If you don't have any load balancer, you can directly add the IP also. Okay, how you need to add IP? Like this. Okay, like this you can add this and just create record. A record with specified name already exists. Okay, type A, but it already exists. So I'll use www.jdmi.clouddns.asia. Then it needs to be point to this one. Okay, let us try that. Yeah, it is created. So I'll try this. So we will use with www.jdmi.clouddns.asia. Okay, we'll give some time to this, and later we will test this one. Okay, and if you see, why do we need SSLs? I'll explain you why do we need SSL. Okay, nowadays what is happening, right? Any website which is serving with the HTTP, Google is not going to display or host their website in the Google. The website must needs to be start with HTTPS. And okay, let us show you. Okay, just press any ELB, elastic load balancer. Okay, okay, anything. Okay, for each and every website, any website you are seeing HTTPS only. Let us go to somewhere here 8 or 9 page, 8th page also will go. See, elb.com.au. Any website, if you are opening any website, okay, any website you are opening, that will be starts with https, and you will see here there will be one log symbol, and this is connection is a secure one, and certificate is valid. Okay, the same way I will go with this one, C# corner. Okay, you see connection is secure and certificate is valid. Okay, issued to this company, this domain, and issued by some R3. Okay, and if the same way you can see here, certificate is valid one and issued by R3. Okay, there are some certificate like SSL providers, certificate providers is there with. And if you see any bank domain, hdfc.com, HDFC Bank. Okay, if you see HDFC Bank also, you'll see the log symbol here, and if you go to the certificate, see DigiCert. Okay, there are multiple vendors is there who will provide the SSL certificates to the organizations or domains. Okay, with the help of that, we will host our websites in a secure way. So why do we need SSL now? So without SSL, I can't I open this DNS or my websites? Okay, okay, let us navigate why do we need SSL, and we will see what is the requirement of SSL. Okay, let us save this. And new one, can I open? So paint. Okay, so assume, why do we need SSL? So you are here, and your bank is there here, somewhere here, your bank application. Assume your bank application, any bank, whichever is comfortable. How you will access your bank application? How you will access your bank application? How you will access your bank application? So what you will do? You will use your username and password to access your bank website, right? Okay, so let me quickly write here user, and this is your bank website. Okay, and this is your internet. So how you are connecting to your bank? With the help of username and password only you are connecting. So user name and password, you are connecting with this username and password, right? So you are connecting with the username and password to the internet, and from the internet you are connecting to the bank. So what will happening here? If you don't have any HTTPS, let us see HTTP websites. Okay, we don't get any HTTP websites because HTTPS is searched. Okay, HTTP websites. Okay, if you see info.server.ch, okay, nothing is there. Browse the first website. If you see here, not secure is there, so your connection is not secure. There is no certificate also, you can see. If it is not secure means no certificate. In the same case, if you are using your hdfcbank.com, if you want to log into your bank, so you are passing your credentials and it is fine. It is going via internet. So internet means a lot of people are there. So what they will do, there will be some hacker is sitting here somewhere around. Assume some hacker is there. Okay, someone is there, hacker. What they will do, hackers, what they will do, they will hack your credentials whenever you are passing your credentials over the internet in the Google browser. They will hack your credentials and without any secure mechanism. If you are using any secure mechanism, what they will do, whenever you are trying to access your this one bank to the internet, it will go to the bank, and it will also go to the internet. From the internet it will come on, it will also go to the hacker also. He will be easily hack this one. So now if he is doing like this, if as our data is hacking, then how these many days banks are securing our data? How this is securing? How the bank is securing the data? How the websites are securing? So with the help of SSL certificates, we will generally call SSL certificate. Okay, SSL certificates that are both SSL or TLS. Okay, advanced is TLS, older one is SSL. With the help of this one, SSL and TLS, see, any certificates is the two types. One is private one and public one. Okay, certificates are two types of certificates is there, public one and private one. Public certificate, public key and private key. So bank is also having public key and private key. So now what, what will happen? And you are also having your own public key and private key. So if you have your public key or private key, you are encrypting with the private key. Okay, you are encrypting with the private key. And if you are sharing your key to your HDFC bank, they are having 1 crore or 2 crores users. How they will store your data? Or else if they are giving only one private key across all the users, then there is a data, it is not a secure one. If they are using same key, then there is no secure for other users. Okay, that is the reason we won't give our private key to bank. So what we will do, first what we will give, with the help of our public key, our with the help of our key, first what we will do, we will encrypt our username and password, okay. And with the help of bank public key, with the help of bank's public key, again on the top of it, again we will encrypt. Okay, again we will encrypt. And whenever now you are passing this data, it will go to the bank and it will go to the hacker also. But this hacker don't have this key, this public key. Hacker don't have this public key, right? So username and password you are encrypting with your private key, and on top of it again you are encrypting your public key with the help of bank's public key, and you are sending this data to your bank. So whenever you are sending this request with the help of this private key, your bank will decrypt and it will verify. This all will happen with the fraction of seconds. Okay, it won't take days or minutes. Okay, it will happen within the fraction of seconds. Okay, and if it goes to the hacker also, he can't encrypt because he don't have these public keys. Okay, that is the reason we need to use SSL. If you are giving same your key also to the bank or bank also, then that is a symmetric encryption. Symmetric encryption we are not using. We will use asymmetric we will call this asymmetric. We will use with the help of this asymmetric option. We will encrypt our username and credentials, and we will secure our websites. Whenever we are using this one, this guy can't access our websites. Okay, he can't access our websites. Okay. This is how SSL will work. Let us see in any of the HDFC bank or any other bank what is the SSL or what they are using in their websites. Okay. HDFC bank. Okay. Let us see here. Okay, certificate details or certificate path or something. Details, copy to file. Not somewhere here. Somewhere here you will see general SSL or TLS. You can see here. Okay, what we will do, we will open in the Internet Explorer. There you can see easily. Okay, this is the secured one, and certificate is valid. A view certificate. Come on. Okay, that is how it will looks like. Okay, connection is secure. For example, password is credit card number to keep private when it is sent to the site. Whenever it is entering the site, your connection is secured. Yeah, Google also already blocked to use only HTTPS. You can't use HTTP websites in the Google now. Okay, you can't get. So let us verify our website is came or not. So still it is not pointing. It is not pointing. jdmi.clouddns.asia. So what we will do, we will use without this. We will see. So what we will do, just we'll ping and we will test what is happening to that. So ping, let me copy this and paste here. J, yeah, right. J. Okay, NS lookup we will do, because ping will only work for IP address. Okay. Cannot find no answer. Okay, non-authoritative answer. Okay, and yes, it is not working. So what we will do, let us navigate to Ali, and I want to show you something here, or else okay, certificate is valid or not. Okay, still it is in pending validation, so it will take some 30 minutes of time. After that it will be valid. Okay, and yes, start.cloud.asia. Let us take any server's public IP and navigate to the cloud DNS of Ali. And if you go here, we have an option to update or configure. You see here, configure, add record, add record. Okay, yes, I think NS records also we can add here. Okay, yes, good one. So we will add remaining NS records. Okay, two NS records we didn't add it for janil.xyz, right? So that one we will add and we will see whether it work or not. Copy and Ali Cloud, right? Ali Cloud 170 is there already, so it won't work. So 128 is not there. We will add this one. Copy and yeah, name server you need to choose. This is, let it be, enter the value. Okay, value we given, just confirm this. Host, without host it won't work or what? This resource record is required. Okay, what we will do, just give the star here. Okay, just confirm. So another record I will add here. So same NS record I will add. So name server record and give the host is star, and the value is the last one we didn't add it, this name server records. So these 4 records we need to update in the any cloud DNS service provider. So just confirm this. Okay, we have confirmed now. Okay, so what else we will do? Okay, so now add a record, one more record I will add. So a record I will add star also, and I will give the value here, not this one. I need to give the IP address, a record, right? I am using a record, so just copy this IP, navigate there. Okay, just confirm this. A type record is conflict the NS type records. Okay, I think we don't want to add here that records. Okay, that will be need to be added from there only, from our hosted zone. Okay, so basically, so now if you see this one, janil.xyz, this website needs to be it needs to be up and running, but yeah, we'll wait for some time, and it needs to be run actually, and it is not working. janil.xyz, right? Yes, let us see. NS lookup don't use HTTP or anything. And let's look up another. You cannot find server is this one, and .53 address is this one. Okay. And okay, now let's give some time for this. Okay, so what I was trying to explain here, so if you see this website is I'll copy somewhere here. This website now it is having with HTTP. So the same website also, how we will secure with the HTTPS. That's what I want to show you. Once the website is there, then we will easily actually verify. Anyhow I will show you. This is jdmi.dnsnet also. This also is there in HTTP only. So this also we need to home. Come on, what is happening here? Okay. See here HTTP. Now this also need to be. I want to look like HTTPS. I want to make it as secure connection for this website. So to make secure connection, first this needs to be valid. This needs to be valid. Okay. And yeah, why it is not valid, you know? Okay, this record we need to add in the DNS provider, not here. Okay. Yeah, I will just modify that one and let us verify sometime after some time. Okay, just copy this one, copy, and yes, this is the CNAME where we can add. Okay, add new record. So CNAME, what is the host I want to give? Host is nothing but this is the name, host name I want to add here, and delete the dot also, and it will points to my this one. Copy, go here, just update, and the TTL is 1 hour. It is there. Okay, it will take time to live is 1 hour, so it will take approximately hour or less. Okay, so change TTL. I have the option, I think, change TTL to 1 minute. Okay, 1 minute. Available only for premium account. Upgrade your account and use TTL management. Okay, I'm using open source one, right? That is the reason it is not telling me. It's not allowing you to. Okay, if you see here, default one is 1 hour. Okay, no problem. I'll wait for like after hour. I will check this one whether this website is working or not. If it is working, I'll ping you in the groups chat. Then you can also verify the website will work or not. Okay, and we'll go here and we need to validate the certificate also. The certificates need to be validation status needs to be comes into green status. Okay, that one I will explain to you. Okay, once this will come right, so then what we will do, we'll go to the load balancer again, and load balancer in the listeners first we will delete this listener, HTTP listener, and we will add HTTPS listener, and we will add the HTTPS listener, and default action needs to be forwarded to our same target group, and the certificate we will choose here. Other than that, nothing else is there. Okay, this is not the SSL certificate. Here we will choose the certificate. It is not valid. That is the reason it is not coming in the drop down. Once it will come, just we will choose that one and we will add the listener. Once the listener is ready, and we will go and we will verify the website, then it will becomes, then this website will become HTTPS website. Okay, that is what I was trying to explain. I was trying to show, but because I have hosted in some others cloud DNS, right? This is private one. It will take an hour. So after 10 o'clock like that, I will verify and I will update here. Okay, that is how AWS load balancer will work with SSL certificates, which is managed by AWS. Okay, and yes, leave. And if you see here, load balancer, create load balancer. As of now, we created application load balancer. Gateway is new one, so we don't want to worry about that one. Coming to the network load balancer. So what I will give my NLB, and schema is internet facing. Same I will use internet facing only, IPv4. Okay, and under my VPC only, under my VPC, and mappings. I have only two availability zones. I will use my public subnet only. I need to use. Okay, I don't want to use my private subnet. As I mentioned, right, we are having one IPv4 settings, IPv4 settings assigned by AWS, or use an elastic IP address. I don't have any elastic IP address. That is the reason it is disabled. So go with the assigned by AWS option only. Okay, and I will choose my public subnet too, and I will go the default option. And if you see here, you are having any port you can use this load balancer. Okay, by default TCP is 80, but see 1 to 65,535 ports you can use. Assume you are creating a server backend that needs to be listening on only port 22, but that is only to connect the SSH. Okay, you can use this load balancer and you can use that to connect. Okay, just forward to, okay, no resources to display, because there is one target group, but where is the target group? Listener, create a target group, and we can refresh this one. Okay, create a target group. So we will create target group here, and yes, in target groups same thing. Target group name is NLB TG, network load balancer target group. Okay, backend protocol or port you can do with your required application configuration. Okay, I will add these two instances to NLB, and oh come on, cancel, include as a pending below. And now what I'll do, I'll just create a target group. I have created a target group now called NLB TG. Okay, already with this target group I have attached to another load balancer, right? So that is the reason I am unable to attach to here. Okay, just refresh this and just navigate down NLB target group. Okay, if you have any other listeners, you can go and add that one here. Okay, just a summary it is giving here. Okay, create load balancer. So view load balancer. Suggested next steps: review or customize or enable attributes for load balancer and listener using the description and listener tabs with my NLB. Okay, let's navigate to the other attributes which we are having. Okay, this is my NLB, right? Just actions. So edit attributes. I want to show you the edit attributes. If you see here, delete protection is enabled. Cross zone load balancing also. We are having an option here, and access log also. So same way I want to show you for the ALB also. The differences between ALB and NLB at the console level you need to verify. Okay. What are the main differences? So actions, edit attributes. If you see here, delete enable protection is there, and there is no cross zone load balancing. If you see NLB, we have cross zone load balancing, because in NLB network load balancer it is not enabled by default, but in application load balancer by default cross zone load balancing is enabled. So why do we need cross zone load balancing need to be enabled? So let me explain that also. Okay, assume you have so copy and paste. So assume here you are having your load balancer. Come on, here you are having your load balancer. So whenever you are using NLB, what it will do? Okay, I'll give outer layer also, then you will understand. This is my availability zone. I will call it as AZ2, and I'll call this one as AZ1, availability zone 1. Okay, so assume now we are having a request is coming, 100 request is there now. 100 request we have, 100 request we are getting. Assume we are having only 100 request. Okay, assume we are having 100 request. Now 100 request, it will, what will happen whenever load balancer is receiving 100 request, this NLB, right, we are using network load balancer. What will happen, it will distribute the traffic to first availability zone. Another one is, so again we have second availability zone. What will happen, it will trying to distribute evenly. That means it won't exactly give 50 requests to one availability zone, another 50. It will give, it's having its own algorithm. With the help of that one, make sure it will it will distribute evenly the load between the available zones. Okay, now assume you are having 4 servers here, you are having 2 servers only here. So what will happen now, here you will have the load, it will distribute to the 12.5, like that approximately. Okay, the same way here also 12.5 it will distribute evenly. And when comes to here 25 and 25, so what will happen here, now what is happening, so the burden is on the 2 servers. On these servers there is no burden. Why? Because it is having, here we have 4 servers, it is like sharing the load of offload only, it is sharing, but 4 servers, here 2 servers is there but offload is sharing. In these circumstances these servers maybe, it will, these servers is having a huge load. If it is only 50, as per our explanation it is 50, but if it is real, then the load may use, then our servers won't be not compatible to serve all the not having the capacity to serve the all the requests. So that is the reason we're having in cross load balancing in NLB. But in the ALB, if you see in ALB, that option is not there here. Okay, that is the one thing you need to understand. And access logs is there in anywhere. So access log is very important whenever you are working in real time environment, because whenever you are hitting any request to load balancer, it needs to be send the response and it needs to get the response, both the things it needs to it needs to do. But how you will validate, or how you will access the logs, how many errors we got, what is the errors, what is the request time, how we will get, with the help of these logs you will get, these logs you will get. For that one, if you have any S3 bucket, you just give that one and you upload the bucket policy for that S3 bucket, and it will send the logs to that ELB. Okay, just we are giving the load balancer permission to send the load balancer. We are having a bucket policy that we are updating. So you don't want, if you don't have any S3 bucket, just give the bucket name here. So what we will give, so app load balancer access logs S3 bucket. Okay, bucket bucket, and create this location for me. If you don't have any location for this one, it will create for you. Okay, just save this one. So I have enabled access logs also. This is how you need to enable access logs, and we will verify while going to while navigate in S3, and we will verify. See, that is how you need to create NLB also, and the differences. Okay, cross zone load balancing, this and all you need to keep in mind. Okay, edit subnets. Okay, we have here option to edit subnets. That means if you are not added, if we have only 2 available zones, we have to add. Now you have a requirement, you want to add another subnet also. If you created that one, it will pop up here, but you can't delete it existing subnets. Okay, keep in mind. And let us use this DNS name and go here and verify with this. What is happening here? Yeah, you see here, it is not secure one. Yeah. That is the reason we are going and using with the, see, NLB, it is network load balancer. It is not shifting to other one. It is only serving this content to here, because it is only serving, because same IP it is going, right? For that reason, what I will do, I will use new incognito window. I will use another one. I don't know what happened to another server. It is coming only this one. Let us see what is the issue with this one. Okay, cancel this and go to the listeners in NLV and go to the target group. Two also healthy, two targets are healthy, there is no issues on that one. Okay, I am accessing in the same IP, so that is the reason I am getting from only this will be in caching. I need to get another one also. Okay, I'll get this one. Okay, make sure these are the practices, best practices you are following while creating your load balancers, and you are enabling logs. You are enabling logs for the access logs. Okay, let us navigate quickly to the access logs where we have configured how access logs will looks like. Okay, let us navigate to S3 console. Okay, okay, see, we have given uh, a app, a load balancer, access logs, S3 bucket. Okay, if you see here, this will create in this structure AWS logs and account ID, and what is the, this is the test file actually. Okay, ALB logs test file, and you can access this if you need. This is not coming, right? Okay, I'll make that one as public, and we will access that one. Okay, what we will do, permissions, let us navigate to this and choose this file, and actions, make public this folder, this file, just for accessing. Okay, okay, just close this one, and once this is done, close, click on this file, just use this object URL. Okay, if you see here, that file is downloaded, object URL. Okay, just I'm opening that file. See, edit with, open with, I don't have any notepad, come on, open with notepad. Okay, let us open this with the, okay, this is how it will, like sample file will be this, it will look like this. Okay, here ELB, and what is the LB, and what is the time, and what is the code, everything we will get, everything we will get once we are ready. I mean our application load balancer is ready. Okay, let us see, here we will get another folder like that will come with this, with year 2021, and what is the month and what is the day. In that day we will have multiple log files, it will generate from the load balancer to here. Okay, that is how access logs will come here, and we need to verify that. Okay, yeah, that's it for today, and we can create multiple load balancer, and load balancers are not a free one, it is a charged one. Okay, I will keep this load balancer like this, ALB, and I will verify this connection after some time, after an hour or something, whether it is working or not. Okay, yeah, see, if you see here, yeah, I'll show you. one more thing. If you see here, the certificate is valid now. The certificate is issued. So let us navigate to the EC2 listeners, EC2 listeners, okay, and add listener. While adding the listener, we have an option, right? HTTPS, and add action forward to what is the target group. Same target group I'm using, okay. Security policy, any policy you'll choose here, and ACM is recommended one. If you see here, certificate is now it is popping up on the drop down. Just add listener, okay. Successfully added the listener. Just navigate back, and and delete. So I'm deleting the HTTP listener, okay. No problem, you go and delete it, there is no worries, okay. This is my target group, and this is the targets where we are having. So this both targets are healthy already, okay. We don't want to worry about that one. Now we need to verify the load balancer. This is the same load balancer, right? Just I'll refresh here. If you see here, now it is resulting the error because we need to use with HTTPS. We are not hosted with the HTTP, we hosted with the HTTPS. So HTTPS, and if you click on this one, yes, it will give the connection is not private because we have not created that certificate for this domain, right? We have created for some other domain, okay. Go to the advanced and click on the my LB not secure connection, okay. If you see here, we got the website. That is how you need to actually get. See, HTTPS only we are getting, HTTPS only we are getting, okay. But that domain, that certificate is not for this domain. That is the reason it is not giving a secure one, okay. Now if you have like that domain, right, jnl.xyz, okay, what we'll do, just a moment, give me some more time, and go to this DNS, okay. Where is DNS, Alibaba Cloud DNS, or else Route 53 only. What we will do, as here, this record, what you will do, I will delete this record and I will add again, okay. Okay, delete. So create a record. I'll copy that load balancer DNS name, and I will use there, okay. Go to descriptions, just copy this one and go to Route 53 again, and here you need to use CNAME, and this is the CNAME you need to use here, and that let it be. Just create a record here. What is happening? RR of set CNAME as the name alias is not permitted with the alias apex zone, okay. I'll go with this one then. Bad request, value is not a valid IPv4 address, okay. Then why can't it is used okay, and .com, create record. So bad request, invalid, change batch 400, record required record site of type CNAME with DNS name is not permitted to apex in a zone, okay. Then what we will do, click on, okay, it is not supported over there, okay. Let us go here, is the any other is there, VPC endpoint network load balancer, okay. We were having network load balancer but deleted, right? No problem. Choose the Asia Pacific region, okay. Just choose the load balancer, but it is coming dual stack, it should not come, okay. Yeah, so there is some problem with our AWS and other DNS providers. There is some communication is not establishing, but certificate I want to show you. Yes, that was successfully we have added to the listeners with the help of ACM. Okay, so in real time we will use this HTTPS only. We won't use HTTP load balancers. Okay, that is the main agenda. I want to show you HTTPS load balancer. Okay, yeah, that's it for today.